Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager for Creator Team Career here on the PC with Cadillac. Tonight it is round 5 season 6 and we're returning back to Italy to Imola. So here we are then, ready to head to the Emilia-Romagna district of Italy. As you can see, we have a very, very comfortable lead over Ford already in the constructors' standings. And a pretty nice little lead for Max in the driver's standings. Lando, the closest challenger, 16 points back. Oscar is 28 points behind at the moment. So looking quite good so far. We've got a brand new front wing on the car for tonight. And we have more parts on the way. We also have a new suspension that we are still building. We've got one available, but I'm going to wait until we've got both of those before we stick that on the car. So that'll be probably for the next Grand Prix. Yeah, you can see we've also got ourselves the rear wing. That'll be the last of the Mark II parts, and we've already started 3 Mark III parts as well. We've got a couple of slots left to get some research started, but unfortunately money is a little tight at the moment because I've got a little spend happy building all these upgrades and spare parts, etc. And we had to do a couple of refurbs as well. So we'll have to wait until after Imola to try and get some research started. Again, that's more for you guys rather than for me, just in case you want to take over this save file at the end of this season when we bring this series to a close. I will make the save file available to anyone who wants it. Yeah, I won't completely abandon research just in case. Our car is not the quickest, as you can see, in terms of speed. We're currently ranked 19th, but we're very, very close to the average. Our DRS is in the upper area there, quite a bit ahead of the average, but still only 5th. Low speed, we're looking pretty strong. We're in 3rd there, 15th in medium, 14th in high speed. Still very, very good in dirty air and tyre wear. And engine cooling is not too bad. But these are just some sliders. Let's see what that performance actually translates into. So we'll move across to our database editor. Let's take a look at performance. And we have just regained top spot by 0.2% from Aston going into this Grand Prix. Again, this is based on development rather than what's actually on the car. So this will be counting our new suspension, which isn't on the car yet. You can see that's a huge jump forward for Ford. Look at that big uptick in their let's zoom in a bit. A big uptick, as you can see, in their improvement between Miami and Imola. Similar sort of jumps for Ferrari and McLaren. Audi just stagnating a little bit there. Mercedes getting a big jump forward, and Minardi have really pumped up their improvements since Monza. They've got more upgrades here for their official home Grand Prix. Small upgrade for HiTech, and a very small upgrade as well for Toyota. Everyone else, though, seems to be taking really big steps forward. So, let's see what's actually fitted to the cars, shall we? So we can see that... why do we have differences between our two cars? We shouldn't do. Unless this is including engine in there as well. We're actually split by Aston. That's a little odd. Let me check that. Why is that? As far as I knew... I think we've got the suspension still on this car. Yes, we do. Let's take that off. No, we don't. Okay, something's a bit odd. Same chassis. Front wing. There we go. We didn't install the front wing on Norris. And there we go. We've got identical spec cars now. So We will need to quickly readdress this. Just update our save. And we need to reload the save now. And go to performance. And there we go. That's more like it. So both of our cars equal spec. Just ahead of Yuki Tsunoda's car there. Then it's Liam Lawson. And who's Lawson's teammate? I can't remember. Drugovich is number 28. Then we've got the two Williams drivers. We've got Alex Albon and Franco Colapinto. Then the two Fords. It's almost like 2x2, isn't it? Into the arc. We've got Oscar and then Pierre Gasly. Then Kimi Antonelli, Bortoletto, George Russell and Isaac Hadjar. Then Mick Schumacher. No, wait, that's Doohan. That's Bortoletto. Bortoletto runs number 5. Number 16, that is Charles Leclerc. Then number 41 is... Who is number 41? I'm trying to remember who the HiTech drivers are now. Who are the line? Lindblad and Bearman. There we go. We knew we'd get there in the end. So Lindblad just there, and then Bearman's, again, identical performance for him. And then we've got the two Minardis. I'm not sure which way around they go. I'm assuming that's Mini. 98 is Teo Porcher. That's Sainz, slightly behind his teammate. And then we've got Fornaroli at the bottom there. So, again, still pretty close. Top to bottom is just 5%, just under 5%. And very, very close here at the top, as you can see. Both Fords are within less than 2% of us. And it's good to see that Antonelli is not too far off as well. Right, so there we go. That's a quick look at how we are stacked going into this Grand Prix. So I suppose we should actually get it underway, shouldn't we? Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Army, we've got Wayne, we've got Victor. Mycon's here as well. Daniel, good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who is lurking in the chat as well. As always, please do feel free to say hello. If you've got any questions, I will try and answer them as best I can for you. And let's get ourselves underway, shall we? We've got a really bad powertrain situation building already for Lando. After that crash in Vegas, wiped out a gearbox and severely damaged his engine and ERS. So we'll leave these in for practice. We're still on the original round of parts for Max, so we'll leave those in for practice. We'll probably run that engine and that gearbox in the race as well, but we are going to have to change Lando, at least his engine, for this Grand Prix. Let's set our targets. These have been fluctuating a bit in the last couple of races. Max is back to targeting the win, and Norris is now targeting 4th. So he's gone from 2nd to 3rd to 5th, now back to 4th with his targets. Okay, let's head on over to Imola, shall we?
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. After returning to the Formula One calendar in 2020, Imola is now home to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This historic track's original outline might remain, but updates to the circuit ensure that racing here feels just as exciting in modern times. Last round was a dream weekend for race winner Oscar Piastri, the Australian showing his mettle against the best of the best. Let's get on with the weekend.
So I do like this circuit, even though it's not going to be part of Formula One in reality anymore. It's not the easiest to overtake on, at least with the older regs. It might actually be a pretty good circuit with these new regs, but unfortunately we aren't going to find out. At least not yet, anyway. Maybe we'll see it back soon. You never know. Weather-wise, we've got a little bit of rain forecast for Saturday, which could affect practice or quali, or maybe both. Or maybe neither. But we do have a little bit of light rain on the horizon. It's going to be dry all day today for Friday practice, and then dry and probably quite hot as well on Sunday on race day. So we're probably going to run a set of hard tyres on the Sunday, and then I don't know, maybe soft, maybe mediums to go with them. We'll target the one stop, I think. Let's get our cars sorted out setup wise. First off, we'll start as always with the run plan. About 20 laps if you want to do 2 separate runs around here. So because it's a normal Grand Prix weekend, we will target just over that. We'll go 22 laps. There we go. Evening, Dino. Let's do our pace settings as always. Make sure we're looking after the car as much as we can. And an extra couple of laps of fuel for Lando. There we go. And into the setups. So we're looking 12.5 to 13 on the rear wing. We're going to start with a 12.5. We're probably looking around a 6 to a 7 on the front wing. We're going to start with a 7. And then we're probably looking anywhere from sort of a 5.5 through to a 3.7 around here. We're going to start with a 3.7 on Norris's car. We're going to go very high on the camber. It's almost always right up this end of the graph. And then it's usually quite low on the toe as well. So we will take that to there, I think, as a starting place. And then let's move over to Max's car. And again, we want to do something similar, but a little bit different. I'm going to try running slightly less front wing. We're going to go with a 6.5. Going to keep the 12.5 on the rear. We're going to go to just a 4.6 this time. And then we're going to go all the way up again. And this time we're going to go all the way down. And let's get ourselves onto the track. See how we do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green light.
Right, we do have some rookies running again. I can't remember who that is. Figueroa. We got Sharik. We got Victor Farkas. Is that Oedipus? I don't know. We'll find out who that is in a second. We've got Jackson Chisholm in at Williams.
Loud and clear.
I'm not sure who that is for Toyota.
Get the tyres ready.
Somebody here for Honda. Not sure who that is. That's Rose in for Audi. So let's take a look at those names. So it's Dorothy Bartlett's, Paolo Ricalde. Ah, yes, Erdekerven. Ibanez in for Toyota. It's Müller and Weber in at Toyota. I didn't realize they got 2 rookies running. Or is that HiTech? No, it's Honda. So yeah, 2 rookies running for Honda. Right, let's get them avoiding curves as we always do. Again, just reduces a little bit of wear on the powertrain. And let's speed them up and see how we do.
The tyres?
We need to work on the tires, keep the temperature on the tires.
So I spent all night, all morning, through till about 10 o'clock this morning, playing Banished after last night's live stream, trying to get my head around the game. I've been trying it on various different difficulties, trying different starting things to see how long it takes to build stuff, how much resources it takes. I just started before this an easy file just to see the difference between what resources you start with on that, and And after tonight, I will
Anything we can help
experiment with mining and quarrying as well to try and get permanent sort of locations for stone and iron and coal and stuff. Still haven't quite figured out why when I build a trading post, nobody seems to turn up for, for the first few years. I'm not sure whether I've done something wrong or... Again, the game gives you some information, but it's a little sparse in other areas in terms of why things, how things work in more detail. So you get little bits of information in the help bar, and there are some tutorials, but the tutorial already has. I reran some of the tutorials last night as well, just to see what I'd forgotten. And
can you check the temperature?
The trading post is already built with a trader at the when at the post when you get into the trading tutorial. So that really doesn't help either, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe I need to be at a certain population, maybe I need to have certain things built first before the trading post actually starts to work. I'm not sure. It's, like I say, it's not amazingly detailed in exactly how things work. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun playing Banished, and I do think I am going to start, when I've got my head around it a bit more, we will start to do something on the channel with Banished, because it is an oldie but a goodie. Right, let's take a look at our feedback. We're at 79% for Max and 73% for Lando. So it looks like we might need to buff the rear wing up to a 13. Probably got the roll bars wrong as well. A few little tweaks we're going to have to make on these cars.
I'm in.
And limiter on, please. Stop where the guys are and P1.
Start with Max. And yes, we are going to have to increase that rear wing.
So
looks like we are going to have to push that out to a 3.7 as well. Let's bring the front wing up a bit. And let's try that. Norris. Again, we're going to increase that to a 13. This time I'm going to go that way, I think, to a 5.5. Let's take that down. And let's take the front wing down slightly as well. It might be a little bit too big of a gap there, but that looks all right. That looks all right. That looks good. That looks good. We'll see if that works. Probably send them back out this session. Right, 26 minutes left in the session. We should get full feedback from Max, and Norris will be out in another minute, well, less than that. So again, we should get full feedback from him as well. There he goes. What's quite interesting is we're running
got a yellow flag.
a spin for Rose.
Now this was the Sauber. Oh no, that's
that's
not
Aqua
how
Minerale.
to do it. In the end, just a helpless passenger.
And try
If
to
you go
work
back and
with
watch
your
older
tires.
footage of Imola, you'll see that there used to be the sort of Aqua Minerale kind of now has a chicane on the exit, kind of. There used to be a chicane right before Acqua Minerale, where they would come down and then they would have a little chicane like that, and then they would go up the hill through Acqua Minerale. So the circuit has evolved a fair bit over the years. And then obviously a lot of changes were made after Senna and Ratzenberger died here in 1994. So this corner had the Villeneuve chicane put in. That was just one straight flat curve. This didn't used to be a chicane. Oh, no, sorry, this is the Villeneuve chicane. That's Tamburello, I think, if memory serves. This didn't used to be a chicane either. This used to be just flat. A bit more of a gradual curve through. There is a chicane that we can kind of see on the start-finish straight. That used to be active at the time. Say this area here got reprofiled, so this little kink chicane here was actually sort of a downhill drive here, and then a little chicane out, and then a more sweeping curve going back up the hill. I don't think this chicane was there either. You know, before '94. A lot of these changes, say, were brought in to slow the cars down just to avoid another horrific crash like we saw, where Senna went straight on into the concrete barrier.
Copy.
All right, so we've got a fault developing for Norris.
There! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
Is this the engine? It is the engine. It's a major damage. It's unfixable. So we might already be getting to the end of useful life of that engine in practice as well, which is not ideal. I remember watching that Grand Prix live, and I was a huge Senna fan as a kid. I think most kids my age were, just because he was such an amazing driver to watch. And it was horrible. You know, just the broadcast, kind of just went very quiet for a bit. There was a long delay while all the medical crew were around Senna's car, and they airlifted him to hospital, and the race carried on, and it was a very somber podium. And then as soon as the broadcast finished, there was still no real news, just that Senna was in hospital. That was it. That was the only news there was. The broadcast finished, and I grabbed my radio, and I turned my radio on, and I just sat there and I listened. And about 5 o'clock that evening, when BBC Sport News or Radio 5 News or whatever it was, Radio 5 Live or whatever it was I was listening, I think it's Radio 5, announced that Senna had been pronounced brain dead, and man, my heart broke. You know, it's just horrible. You know, because you don't realise, I think, as a kid especially, you don't realise just how dangerous Formula One is, and it's a lot safer now than it used to be. But you just don't realise how dangerous, this kind of sport really is until something like that happens. And I mean, I'd only been watching Formula One for a few years by that point. I think I started watching Formula One where it kind of popped up occasionally in the sort of the late 80s. So I missed that whole era of drivers dying almost on a weekly basis in the 60s and 70s. But I mean, there hadn't been a death in Formula One for quite some time by that point, and then to get two the same weekend, and one of them to be arguably the greatest driver around, it really shook Formula One and motorsport to its core. Evening, MGL.
The tires?
That day motorsport, yes, it really, really was. It wasn't just the halo. I mean, so much more about the cars. The halo wouldn't have saved, well, might have saved Senna, but I mean, the whole strength of the cars was so much weaker compared to modern day cars. They were so much smaller, more fragile. You know, let's not forget as well, that's before the era of wheel tethers. So you would regularly see wheels go flying when a car crashed because there was nothing holding it to the chassis.
Yeah,
Copy that.
So when there was a crash, boom, that wheel went flying. And you would sometimes see wheels bounce over the catch fencing into the fans on rare occasions. So yeah, I mean, cars were very, very different then. Much smaller, not as safety focused, although big improvements have been made. It is kind of scary to see crashes like that. Well, we've fixed Norris's car. We've actually got that perfect, which is nice. And I think we might have made Max's car slightly worse. Let's call them in. We are done running for FP1. Let's take a look at Max's car. So we got the right idea with the rear wing. We've gone too far with the front wing. I didn't realize I'd gone all the way up to an 8. We need to bring this back. So that's a 5.5, which means that's going to come down to maybe a 6. And that looks right on the very edge. Might need a slight bit of movement. Don't really want to bring that down anymore. We'll go with that and see how that shakes out. Well, it's the old movie cliche, Dino, isn't it? When you see in the films, like a car crashes and then you just see a single wheel on fire rolling away. Yeah, it's that old movie cliche, but sometimes art and life are indistinguishable from each other. Mr. Rennie released a Red Bull. Yes, I saw the notification on Patreon about that. You saw the one in 2005 with Raikkonen where the tyre jumped. That was where his entire front chassis just collapsed, wasn't it? Or front suspension collapsed because he had a major front flat spot on one of his wheels that was sending huge vibrations through the car, and then in the end the suspension just collapsed and both the front wheels just went flying off the car. Is that the one you're referring to? Right, there we go. That is the end of practice. Both Fords looking pretty quick. Very quick indeed. Porsche, they're having a bit of pace as well. And then we've got some rookies maybe distorting the field a little bit. Not many main names out on track for extended periods of time. But a decent first practice. Let's get ourselves ready for practice 2. We're going to go with just 18 laps of running in this session. We know that one of our cars is already where it needs to be. That's Lando's car. Hopefully this will get Max's car where it needs to be as well. I am going to try running this engine. Hopefully it's not going to fall apart on us. If it does threaten to go, we will have to just call him in, because if it does go, it'll kill his ERS as well. When you get an engine failure, it tends to take everything else out as well. Yeah, for those of you that have never seen older Formula One, sort of going back to the 80s and 90s,
it's unsettling the car.
Yep.
it's definitely worth looking at just to see the difference in the car size. I mean, you can just tell just by looking at this, even though all the cars are very similar sized on track at the time, you can see just how much smaller they are compared to today's cars. And you can see how some of the circuits have evolved as well. Canada's another classic example where there's kind of an extra chicane in there that isn't, it's like a high-speed sweeping chicane rather than like a tight chicane to slow the field down. It's more of like a sweeping S than an actual chicane, but that was on the back straight, and like a whole extra section that just isn't there anymore. It's all been flattened out and just turned into one long cruise. But you'll see a lot of different variations of circuits, and you'll go, that doesn't look quite right. Again, watch Monaco as well. Late 80s, early 90s Monaco, and just see how different the profiles of some of those corners are. How much less runoff there is in some areas, how much tighter the entry and exit in some of those corners are. And they could do that because the track, you know, the cars are so much smaller. You know, you couldn't get away with that these days because the cars are just way too big. So you have to open those areas up, or else, you know, you're going to get a red flag all the time. Speaking of the Halo, I didn't actually realise that the Halo is developed by Red Bull. I thought that they were... I thought someone else was developing the Halo, or maybe Red Bull are the ones that make the Halo for Formula One. But I do remember when the Halo was first being sort of tested and introduced, Red Bull wanted to create their own, which was the aero screen, which is what I think they now use in IndyCar.
There's a yellow
I'm not sure if it's that or if it's a variation of that concept. But yeah, the whole aero screen was basically a Halo with a windscreen on it,
How does
kind
the
of
car
thing,
feel?
just and without that central pillar
This definitely felt better.
on the Halo.
Copy that.
But it never got approval. Evening, Eric. All right, we have feedback from Max. How does he feel about the new changes to the car? Better. It's still not there. Oh, wow. Is that a 6.4? Okay, did not see that one coming. I think we're good with Norris. Let's call him in. Yeah, we're good with Norris. We don't need to run him for the rest of the session now. Well, the rest of the weekend. We've run hard tyres. We've just run the mediums, so he can sit out the next session. We do need to just test this setup with Max. Again, it's not essential. We're probably good enough now, but it'd be nice to get the front wing fully learned, or at least close to being fully learned, by getting him to run a bit more. And we need to protect that that engine of Norris's, his practice engine, as much as we can, because it is not in good shape. I think Red Bull's argument for the aero screen over the Halo was Felipe Massa. When a bolt came off the back of Barrichello's car and bounced off the track straight into the oncoming Felipe Massa at I think what ended up being somewhere close to a 300 mile an hour impact, with the speed the bolt was traveling and the speed that Massa was going in the opposite direction, put him in a coma for a long time. And if you've never seen the damage that it did to his helmet, just Google it.
Any comments there?
The car is amazing.
And see if you can
Copy
find a screenshot or a picture of that helmet, because it was, yeah, it was crazy. Just this huge hole punched into the helmet. And I think that's possibly why Red Bull wanted to go down the aero screen route rather than the just the Halo. $150 mile an hour. Yeah, you've got to remember that's how fast Massa was doing. But when you have a head-on collision between two cars, say one car's doing 40 miles an hour and the other car in the other direction, it's doing 60 mile an hour, that's a 100 mile an hour impact. It's not a 40 mile an hour impact or a 60 mile an hour impact. If you're going straight and you hit something stationary, yes, that's the speed, but you have to add both speeds together if it's head-on. So the actual speed of that impact against Massa's helmet was a lot more than 150 miles an hour. And there we go. Max's car is nailed. So we are done for the rest of the weekend with practice. It's only the freak accidents that caused the deaths now. Look at Hubert's crash. Yeah, you've also look at Bianchi. I mean, the Halo would have saved Bianchi, we think. The Halo certainly saved Grosjean's life when he went into the barriers and his car exploded. The barrier would have decapitated him if it hadn't been for the Halo. So, yeah, the advances in safety are staggering when you go back, you know, to 20, 30 years ago. If you go back even further, it's insane. Say in the 70s, it got to the point where a driver was dying almost every single week. Okay, that is the end of practice 2. Oscar topping the timings once again. That's ominous. Into final practice. We are sitting this one out, so we're going to prep the cars for racing. We're going to leave the ERS as is. We need to try and squeeze as much life out of that before we switch it out, given that we only have one more. And we are going to leave Max as is as well. We're not going to hit simulate because otherwise they'll go out and start using up tyres.
Green
I
light.
don't want them to. So we'll just have to sit and wait. Yeah, one of the big reasons we have a lot of the safety initiatives that have become just commonplace is down to Jackie Stewart.
Possible rain in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Ooh, yes, I forgot. We've got rain today, haven't we? Let's take a look at the forecast. So just a tiny spattering of rain. Probably won't even be enough to need inters, except maybe for just like a lap or two at the very end of that. At least according to our rather rubbish weather forecaster. But maybe we'll see a bit more weather in qualifying as well. Yeah, Jackie Stewart said he got tired of watching his friends die and decided he had to do something about it. He was the spearhead behind the safety initiative that started to implement changes for tracks in terms of safety positions and changes to the circuit layouts. So yeah, we just hit 0.7. That's still dry weather territory, or dry tyre territory. And then back down to 0 again. I do hope we do have that kind of intermittent rain in qualifying. It always shakes things up a little bit. And let's see if we can keep our consistency going as well. While the last 10 minutes of this is going, let's quickly switch back to the editor and go to records. And if we go to standings, you can see Max and Norris haven't been out of the top 3 at all at any point of this season. We won Japan with a 1-2, and then it was 3rd and 2nd in Italy, and then 1st and 3rd in the sprint. And then in Vegas, Max won the race and the sprint. Norris came 3rd in the race, 2nd in the sprint. And then last night in Miami, 2nd and 3rd again. That consistency is what's put us at the top. Oscar's won 2 Grand Prix as well. but he had a 12th place there and only 5th in the sprint. No points there has certainly hurt Oscar. George had a DNF and then was 18th in Monza. Got a few points in the sprint, 2nd in Vegas, 4th in the sprint, and then 6th again, but big hurt there. Antonelli started badly, started to score some points there, and got another couple of points there. And where is Leclerc? Leclerc started strong, 5th in Japan, 4th in the sprint, but 11th in the race at Monza. Didn't finish at all in Vegas. It was only 18th last night. Consistency is going to be what gives us this title, I think. Let's see if we can keep that top 3 finish streak going here tonight. We have got a penalty for Gabriele Mini. But our cars are now fully prepped and ready. Up next is qualifying.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Qualifying at Imola can be a tricky, red flag-strewn affair. Teams need to prioritize getting a banker lap in, rather than risk leaving it too late and having to settle for a subpar time.
Now, we've got the Haas driver there. Karun, how are they going to be feeling today?
They must be feeling good after their fast lap times in practice. Confidence can do great things for a driver, so I'm excited to see how they handle qualifying.
Hold on tight, because we're getting underway.
Looks like we are going to have a wet start to quali. Let's see how wet it is. 2.36 mil. Quite wet. All right, inters then. Let's take a look
Green
at
light.
the track details, and it's going to get drier as the session progresses. So let's get out and get an early banker lap on. Get that confidence up a little bit. And we will ride with the world champion on his out lap. Out of the pits, onto the track and into Tamburello.
So you're in a good position.
And then into the Villeneuve chicane. Into Tosa. We'll see a lot of mistakes from drivers there this weekend. We always do. Up the hill into Piratella. And then back down the hill again to the Aqua Minerale. Into the Variante Alta.
Track is clear. Track is clear.
And then we
Off, full
accelerate hard, or we will do in racing conditions, dipping down the hill into the double left-hander that is Rivazza, and that is the end of the lap.
Good to go.
We're going to have the track to ourselves. So let's see which driver comes out on top. is up on Norris by about a tenth in the opening sector. Middle sector split coming up. Just edged by Verstappen. And into Ravazza. Norris has done a 121.1. And he just edged Verstappen in the final sector, but it wasn't enough to stay ahead. Norris is 500ths of a second behind, a 121.0 for Verstappen. These times are going to absolutely tumble as the track dries up, so these are not going to get us through. Not by a long shot. Should start to see a little bit of movement soon. We might even have slick conditions right at the very end here. Track is starting to dry up, so the field will start to move around a bit soon. There goes the first of them. It's Isaac Hadjar.
Yeah, I'm in.
We don't need to worry too much about tyres
is very slippery.
because the only time we're going to need these inters is here in qualifying. It's going to be very dry and pretty hot on race day. So we have 5 full sets of inters to play about with over the 3 sessions. If it's wet in all 3 sessions, it might not be. It might only be wet in this session. All right, Kimi Antonelli hits the track, and this is his literal home race. He was born and raised in this area. Kind of home from home for Ferrari. Gasly making his way out as well. And we're down to 2 mil on track. Out comes one of the Hondas, sorry, that is Yuki Tsunoda making his way out. It's a long, slow pit lane here, so he won't get out ahead of Hadjar here. One of the Mercedes making his way out as well, that's Carlos Sainz. Evening, Daniel. So into Tosa, and Hadjar is the quickest. No surprise there. Track much drier now. And we're starting to see a bit more movement as a couple more cars hit the pits. That is Drukovic and Porsche and Bortoletto as well. Right, there's a chance that Antonelli might get held up a little bit here. little bit compromised, but I don't think he suffered too badly there. We'll keep an eye on his split times. Theoretically, he should be quicker than Hadjar because the track is drier for him than it was for Isaac. Just slightly slower in the first sector, and you can put that down to having to thread the needle between those two cars there. More traffic leaving the pit lane now. Gasly purple. Another slightly compromised line into Aqua Minerale this time for Kimi. But he is still quicker than Isaac. The track was what? 2.3 when we were out there, wasn't it? It's now 1.6. So much faster. And across the line for Kimi, and he goes top by 2.5 tenths. There's still a lot more pace to find. Tsunoda now quickest in the first sector. Gasly pops up just behind Antonelli. Into the Variante Alta for Yuki Tsunoda. Just a double left-hander of Vatsa to go. The track's starting to get a little bit wetter again. Let's go out now. Looks like we might have left just a little bit too long. And we've got a yellow flag. Is that a mistake at Tosa? No, it's not. It's
Let's take a look at
the end of the lap.
It all starts as they reach turn 17.
Locking up into Ravazza.
The wheels just lock up there. They took a gamble, and it was just too late.
And I believe that's his outlap as well. They did that. Yeah, it is. So, not the best start to his lap prep, but at least he'll be able to get up to speed quickly. Russell goes purple in sector 1. There he is, going through Piratella. So 1:19.8 for Yuki Tsunoda, half a second quicker than Antonelli. Leclerc looking rapid as well. I think he's just ahead of George. He is. There he is. Again, track much better now than it was for us, but starting to get a little bit worse again. So we did leave it slightly too long to go out to get the best conditions of this little period. Russell just pips Charles Leclerc in the final sector there, and that was enough to put him top. Lawson is P4, Bortoletto and Doohan 5th and 6th. Albon did not get a clean lap by the look of it. He's down in 12th. Schumacher pops up to 2nd. And we are now about to start our laps.
At the moment we are good. And track is clear, track clear.
And we've got a lot of cars ahead of us.
And charge button off.
Hopefully they'll get out of the way nicely for us. Lindblad, only 17th. Not a good run for him. We had to lift.
Okay, you're good to go.
We had to lift. I think Max got through without lifting. More traffic at the Villeneuve chicane and the run to Tosa. It's a 25.9 for Norris. That's not good. 25.2 for Max. Even just a subtle little lift when you're going down the start-finish straight can cost you a huge amount of time. Piastri's up to 2nd. Yuki's still top. It should be plain sailing to the end of the lap now. 27.2s for both in the middle sector. Only 14th. Max is going to go much higher. He goes at the 3rd.
I'm just so slow.
P3 at the moment.
We are
So
going to
the
have to
motor's
run
looking
again,
Quite good.
but the track should dry up again. I think we might actually be running slicks. We might put a set of softs on. Lando needs to pick up the pace. Lando had to lift on the start-finish straight to get through that traffic, remember. That's why he's so much slower. He lost, what, 6, 7 tenths in the first sector alone as a result. So he would be up there around Schumacher and Russell had he not had to do that. Had he had a clean run. But it's kind of a moot point. As I say, the track is drying up again. And we may even get to slick tyres. Evening, Zach.
Lando filling.
Be careful, slippery and pit wall.
I'm in.
Right, let's see
Box area is very slippery.
Okay.
who risks anything other than dry tyre, anything other than linters here. Doohan's gone out. He's gone out on inters. So's Russell. So's Sainz. Hadjar's going out on inters. They're all going out on inters. So I think inters is the smart play. Nobody's taking that gamble. Yeah, whole field is going out on inters. All right, we'll stay with inters then. Because if we gamble on slicks and get it wrong, we're out. Well, Norris is definitely going to be out. So we'll just let the traffic move ahead a little bit. It's quite a short lap, so we can wait just a touch longer. And we want the track in its absolute best condition. Let's send Max. Now send Norris. Try and give them a little bit of clean air between them. We are going to get pulled over by a couple of cars, I think. Hopefully we'll make it round in time.
Get everything as you want it to be for the start of the lap.
Yeah, okay.
It was Doohan who was out first, so he's about to start his lap.
We need a good warm up on the brakes.
Yeah, confirm.
Down to 1.28. Still drying up. Is it actually going to go below 0.8 mil? Either way, the track is going to be drier for us than it is for the cars in front of us. So as long as we cross the line to start the lap, we should be golden. All depends whether Doohan gets in the way as we start pushing. 25-0 for Jack Doohan. We're going to see him come up very quickly in just a moment. He's in Piratello at the moment. The rest of the field's starting to hit Tosa. They're not going to be an issue. Evening, Johnny. There's Doohan.
Track will be clear. You are good to go.
Are we going to pull over for him? Or are we going to start pushing? We're pulling over. We're letting him through. Oh, we're blocking him.
Doing a good job on tyres.
Sorry, Doohan.
And track is clear, track clear.
That might be
Mode
Doohan's
push for
death
the
knell
corner. Mode
for
push.
qualifying here. Let's see if he
Norris, watch out for Norris right behind you.
returns that favour with some stink on it. No, we get through cleanly. All right, so A clean lap for both drivers. The track is now just over 1 mil. We should be blisteringly quick compared to the AI. And Norris has got a real chance to go quicker than Max here because, again, track's going to be drier for him than it is for Max across the entirety of the lap. In theory. It looks like it's actually stabilised. Mini goes top, then Leclerc. Piastri up to second. Porsche is 6th. Bearman goes 5th. 7th for Lindblad. Tsunoda goes up to 3rd place. 2nd place for Oscar Piastri. Or was that Gasly who just crossed the line? It's so hard to tell. Almost everybody's done. Doohan is out, as is Albon and Bortoletto. Fornaroli's out as well. It's down to where we finish. And we're not as quick as I thought we were going to be. Max goes 3rd. Norris will get through, but where's he going to end up? He goes 7th, and Antonelli gets eliminated by less than 1/10 of a second. Hadjar just scraping through. Yeah, when you get to conditions like this, timing is everything. You know, because you end up with a lot of times very, very close to each other. So you want to be on the track when it's in its best condition. Otherwise, if you go at the beginning of that train, you end up like Doohan, getting eliminated and quite a way off. Because the track continues to dry behind you for all the other cars. Not the best of times, but we are through. And we will say goodbye to Kimi Antonelli, Liam Lawson, Alex Albon, Gabriel Bortoletto, Jack Doohan, and Leonardo Fornaroli at the end of Q1. So into Q2, and we have 1.6 mil on track. So Inters again. We'll use the new sets. We don't have to worry about saving sets. So let's see if it's going to get wetter or drier at the start. It's going to get slightly wetter, so this is when the track's going to be at its best by the look of it.
4 seconds, 3, 2.
I think Russell's realised that as well, as has Sainz. And Tsunoda, everyone's coming out, look. Alright, so we are going to have dirty air to deal with for Max. Norris is just ahead of Sainz. So he's going to have to potentially try and defend a little bit from Sainz. So hopefully he'll be quick enough to avoid losing out some time there.
Let's get plenty of brake temperature, if you can, please.
Yeah.
Just Lindblad and Porsche still in the pit lane. Everybody else is on track. We know that Mini has a penalty to be applied after qualifying. And that's a collision penalty. He caused a crash in the previous race and retired and couldn't serve his penalty. So 3 places to be added on to wherever he qualifies. Lindblad's out of the pits now. Still Porsche is in the pit lane. Or in the garage, I suppose I should say. Technically, Lindblad's in the pit lane. Well, now he's on track. And there's Porsche popping out now. Just as we're about to start coming through. Of course.
We are good for the moment.
All right, we've got a little bit of a gap to Sainz, which is good.
Track is clear.
He's not right on our
There will
gearbox.
be charge button
He'll get a
off
bit of a
for
toe
corner.
here, though, on the run up to Tamburello.
Tyre temps look good.
Let's
Gap
check
is
in with
gonna be
Max.
Good to go. Go, go.
Max sandwiched between Gasly and Tsunoda. Right, Norris is approaching Porsche. There's Porsche. Stays to the left. Max will be on him soon as well. Russell looking very quick. Everyone looking very similar in terms of lap times. Leclerc has gone purple in the first sector. There's hardly anything between these cars, look. Gasly's not had a great middle sector, but everyone else, 25 2s and 22 7s, or 27 2s. It's going to be a tight session. And this might determine who gets through and who doesn't. Russell's top with a 1:19.8. Norris goes second, less than a tenth behind.
That was a good lap.
Max goes second, 64 thousandths behind. Leclerc looking like he might have a chance of going top.
You're P2. Nice job on that lap.
Oscar goes P6. It's 7th for Leclerc. He's only 2 tenths away. Mini just squeezes in. Can Lindblad get in the top 10? If the track gets worse and nobody improves, we are through. And Gasly won't be. Lindblad goes P6. That puts Mini into the drop zone. And Porsche will look to try and knock his teammate out. 27.5 though, it's not going to happen. This is an awful first sector for Porsche, and he's got all this traffic to deal with now. Yeah, Porsche leaving it so long to go out has ruined his chance. So I think Porsche is out in qualifying. If the track gets worse, that is. If it holds steady, he still has a chance to get through with the second run. Having to thread the needle on the run down to Ravazza as well.
Pit exit.
Confirm.
And he's going to be a long way off the pace here.
I'm in.
Box area is very slippery.
Yeah.
2.5 seconds, 2.6 seconds off the pace. It looks like it's going to stay pretty consistently the same. I want to go out now, but I know if I do, I'm going to get traffic. Because everyone else is still trundling back to the pit lane. Oh, we've got left 9 minutes. I think we're just going to have to sit in the garage and wait and see. If the track's going to get worse, we should get a sudden flurry of activity before that happens. If the track's going to get better, we'll see a sudden flurry of activity. So if we go now, we do potentially... Oh, and Porsche spins on the way back to the
Now,
pits.
by the looks of things, we're at turn 15 now.
Losing it there at the Variante outer.
Within a split second, the impact's made.
And that was clumsy. That was very clumsy. Big damage to his car.
Now, there's been an incident, and it looks to be the Mercedes.
We've just seen that, we don't see it again. Out goes Gasly and Mini. Mini tucked up right behind Gasly. Porsche is essentially out of qualifying now because the damage to his car is not going to be nice. We are going to go now. Start to see some movement from other drivers as well. And if it does look like the track's about to start drying, we can abort our lap and come back in. We'll still have time to refuel and go again.
Try to work on the front tires. Confirm.
Let's see if Mini can get his car into Q3.
Reminder for brake temperature.
Okay.
He's nicely poised to get a slipstream, at least down the main straight, but I don't know how good that car is going to be in the dirty air. We never really looked at that stat. A bit of traffic coming out the pits, approaching Tamburello. Slight lift for Mini, but I think he will be okay because he got that toe. Nice and smooth through Villeneuve into Tosa. It's 25.6, no improvement in the first sector.
And track is clear, track clear. Will be charge button off for last corner.
Up into Piratella. Down the hill, back to Aqua Minerale.
Mode push, and you are good to go.
27.2 for Gasly, 27.8 for Mini. Mini's not going to make it. He exits Villeneuve. Sorry, Variante Alta. And then down to Ravazza. Norris hits Tosa, has not improved. 25.3. What about Max? Max does improve, just. Norris has got Russell in front of him. Russell just leaving the chicane and heading down the hill. I don't think he'll get in the way. No, he started pushing. 27.1 for Norris in the middle sector. Goes purple. Max goes even quicker with a 27.0. So there is definitely going to be some improvement. Hadjar gets himself up to P8. Has the track just dried slightly? 1.62. Yellow flag, red flag. Norris crosses the line but doesn't improve, and Max has to abort his lap when he was about to go top.
Red flag.
Oh, is this Leclerc at Tosa? It is. Straight on into the barrier. And that is Leclerc potentially out of qualifying. Well, he's out of the session. Is he out of Q2 though? Or will he start in P10 in Q3? There is time for one more run. The track water level is 1.62 still. Everyone's going to pile out with 4 minutes left on the clock. There goes Bearman. There There goes Gasly. Porsche is going for a run. Please tell me we get out in front of him. I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Shit. So Norris is stuck behind a car that's going to be slow.
And we need to try and sync.
That
all
rear
the
wing is
gears.
just a glitch. That is actually fine. But his front wing still isn't fixed. Do they not have spare front wings to switch it for qualifying? I mean, he could have changed it in under that red flag. No problem at all. Changing the front wing doesn't break part fair, mate. Changing the rear wing does, but that rear wing is not damaged. It's just glitched out. OBS just disconnected and reconnected. So if your stream started to hang for a second there, that's why.
And track is clear, track clear. Charge button off for last corner. Charge button off.
All right, Norris. How quickly are we going to catch him?
Tight end.
How
Good.
detrimental is that going to be?
Okay, gap is good. Good to go, good to go.
We are giving a tow to a Ferrari and a McLaren. That's Schumacher and Russell, I believe. It's glitched. Yeah, it looks like it's broken, but it's not. So you see Schumacher getting a nice 0.2 of a second tow from Norris there. Porsche just 25.7 in the first sector. Max at 25.3. He was on for a lap that would have put in top, but it's not going to happen. Gasly's improving, and I'm a little concerned that we might start dropping down the order a little bit. Threes in the middle sector. Again, Porsche half a second slower. Gasly goes top. Norris doesn't improve. I don't think Max will. Russell doesn't improve.
Comfort. How are we looking? Yeah.
Here comes
You are
Lindblad.
currently P3.
Lindblad goes second. We're down to
Super lap.
6th. Sonoda never came back out, so Sonoda is banking on his time being okay. Same as Oscar. And so's Colapinto. Colapinto out then with Porsche and Drugovic and Mini, Sainz and Bearman. They're all out. So we have made it through. Charles Leclerc will finish in 10th place and go through to Q3, but will take no part in Q3 because of that crash and may yet need to start from the pit lane as well. So out in Q2, Ollie Bearman, Carlos Sainz, Gabriele Mini, Felipe Drugovic, Franco Colapinto and Teo Porsche. All right, Q3, and it's just below 1 mil. It's too wet for slicks, but it is active for DRS. So it is going to be inters. We're going to pause as soon as we get underway here. Because we need to see what's going to happen with that weather. Is it going to get worse? It is. So we need to be the first ones out.
So now we have green light.
Because that DRS might not be active by the time we come around for our next lap. We're going to tell Norris to pull over and let Max through. 2 reasons. 1, he's slightly slower, so we don't want him to hold Max up. 2, they're too close, and that will impede the pair of them. So if we get Max to move over and let Verstappen through, it puts the quicker driver in front, gives a chance of a bit of a helpful tow for Norris, and opens up a suitable gap between the two as well. I was hoping that Max would have just gone out first, but Norris beat him out, apparently. So, no Leclerc to run in this session. Tsunoda's still in the garage at the moment. And now he leaves the pit lane, or leaves the garage. Schumacher representing Ferrari in Q3. No Antonelli, who went out in Q1.
We're looking good. You are good to go.
And you are doing a good job on tires. Keep it like this. Track
Yellow
is
flag.
clear. Track is clear. Tires button off for last corner.
I say, was that a mistake for Max because he
Right
looked
then,
a little slow.
Take a look now. Now we're watching Max Verstappen here. And they just can't keep on the track. Really, they must be careful.
Running a little wide. Thankfully, our car is really good in dirty air, so hopefully Norris will actually get a benefit rather than the hindrance here, especially around a track like this. He is quicker by 0.2 in the first sector. That's a mighty first sector for Hadjar, 24.6. Oh, we are slow in the first sector. I don't think we might not have a chance at pole position here at all today, based on this. We're slower in the middle sector as well. Oh man, we are down half a second to pretty much everybody in the first sector. So it's a 1:19.5 for Norris.
At the moment.
1:19.6.
That was a good lap, that last one.
For Max.
Mode in.
So
How long until the track starts to get worse? Not long.
This is a good lap.
So I think that's it. I think we've lost any chance we had of... oh man, we're over a second off the pace. It's got to be down to Max. It's got to be down to Max. Russell goes second. Gasly goes third. Lindblad's in P5. Schumacher's quicker than us. Oh my God. Tsunoda goes P4. This is a disaster because we're about to lose the DRS. And that means there's no chance of improving anywhere close enough to take pole position or even get near the front row. We might beat Schumacher if we're lucky, but... Oh man. What a horrible qualifying session for us that was. And that's all because of Max's mistake, I think. He was slow across the line to start his lap, and I think Norris backed off a bit.
Box there is very slippery.
Okay.
As a result of that. So, yeah, we just lost so much time in Sector 1. We were slow everywhere compared to everyone else. And again, Max might be the reason for that, having made that mistake. We are going to go straight back out again. I'm going to give him a little bit of separation this time. I don't think we can make the top 6. I think the only car we've got any kind of chance of beating here is going to be
Get the
Schumacher,
tyres
because
ready.
the DRS has gone. That's going to be worth a few tenths down that start-finish straight. Evening, Mike. And the track is, you know, not just no DRS, but just wetter in general.
Warm up on the brakes.
Yeah, confirm.
Eric said that F1's going to be so boring without, you know, in 5 weeks, you know, given that we've got nothing after Suzuka for ages. Perfect excuse to come and watch me. If you're craving your F1 fix, this is the place to be. So everyone else is starting to pile out again, and we're going to get traffic. And we've got a yellow flag. Does Max make the mistake again with Vatsa?
Let's take a closer look.
Oh my God,
Now,
what is going on with
watching the
Max
action
today?
closely here. Everything's all right here. The brakes couldn't cope, and they ended up their own passenger.
He's turning to Derek Zoolander. He can't turn left. He can only turn right.
Startbutton off for last corner.
Right, he has improved in the first sector by quite a bit. Norris has improved as well. Is it going to be enough to beat Schumacher? Track's at 1.2 mil now. There's a whole cluster of traffic ahead of Max. We're going to have to thread the needle, and this might be messy. No, they're pushing. They're pushing. We're okay. So, up to the line for Verstappen. God, he found 4/10 of a second. No, he found 6/10 of a second.
P6.
Yeah, pretty lap, to be honest.
Norris finds half a second.
P6, P6.
Why couldn't we do that the first time round when we had the DRS on the main straight as well? So, Lindblad might still bump us. Schumacher may still bump us. Track is still deteriorating.
Coming past you now.
Or deteriorating, as I should say. Lindblad is not quite as quick as Norris. And he does not move up. He stays P8. I don't think Schumacher's going to get us with that first sector. What's this about no Formula 1 after this weekend? It's where Saudi Arabia and Bahrain would be, but they've been cancelled. So after Suzuka, there's like a 5-6 week gap till the next Grand Prix.
I'm in.
And Schumacher does not
This
improve.
area is very slippery.
He stays P9.
Okay.
So that's it for quali.
Left lane.
No one else is
Be careful.
making a
slippery
run. Everyone's
pit
made
wall.
their second runs.
Compare.
That has, well, actually, no. Yes, these guys have made their run. So it's going to be Oscar Piastri ahead of George Russell, Gasly and Tsunoda on row 2. Then Hadjar from Norris. Max will start P7. Then it's Lindblad, Schumacher, and we don't know if Leclerc's actually going to make the grid. He might have to start from the pit lane. So not the best qualifying session. That first run was terrible, and while we recovered a bit on the second run, it was nowhere near enough to get close to the front of the grid. So we're going to have our work cut out for us again. Lovely stuff. Let's check that amended grid, see what's going to happen to Charles, and see where Mini ends up with his penalty.
Not long until we get going here in Italy, with 63 laps of hard-fought motor racing.
Imola can really reward consistency, as Nigel Mansell showed here in 1992 when he became the first driver to ever win the opening 5 Grand Prix of a season.
Imola has no fewer than 4 chicanes, with the Variantes putting a slow-speed corner into every sector around this historic circuit. It's a high downforce track with sharp turns breaking up the straights. It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
All right, let's check that amended grid then, shall we? Leclerc will start from P10, apparently. Mini down to 16th after his 3-place penalty. So a tough afternoon ahead for Minardi, 16th and 22nd. Antonelli in 17th has also got his work cut out for him here. And we have very much got our work cut out for us with both of the Fords and George Russell ahead of us. And Tsunoda, who has the best of the 2 Hondas, and Hadjar as well. Right, let's take a look at strategy. Mediums to hards is what's suggested for the 1-stop. I think we're just going to stick with that. I think we could potentially go quicker with soft, medium, soft. But I don't know if we could go quick enough to justify making that change. And it's going to be hot, so tyres will potentially overheat. So that would actually be slower than the 1-stop. So we will go with the 1-stop. If we get a safety car, we can change our strategy, but we will go with that. We will not touch the fuel. We'll push hard off the line. And there we go. We are set and prepped. The start of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix is next.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action.
Well, they're in P7, so not necessarily where they'd like to be. could be a challenge, all right.
Right, let's get to it then. This is it, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, let's see how we do. Norris is able to get up alongside Hadjar. Can he complete that move? Everyone's starting on the medium, so it looks like everyone's looking at potentially just a one-stop strategy here. Norris is through. Immediately goes on the attack against Yuki Tsunoda. Norris is going to go late on the brakes into the Variante Alta. Gets alongside, power down, a little toe as well from the back of Gasly. Norris is up to P4. Max still stuck in 7th place. Antonelli's up to 16th.
DRS is enabled.
Oscar trying to sprint away. We've got a nice run on Gasly here. Can we get him into Tamburello? No, he covers the line. So we are going to ease down on the tyres. We are going to go into top-up mode. Max is past Hadjar, so he's up to P6. We're going to put him in top-up and ease his tyres down now as well. Keep pushing the fuel.
Charge button on, please.
Charge on.
Yeah, okay.
And we need to push Norris again because he's already being dropped by Gasly, who's using his battery quite heavily. Mike says he started a new file using Alpine on hard mode. A difficult file because they want 6 in the first season with an average car. Yeah, I mean, Alpine have got decent facilities, so you can... And they've got decent staff as well, so you can actually turn things around reasonably well. And Alpine and Gasly's, Ocon and Gasly's a decent job for the lineup too. So it's a difficult start, but it's a team that's relatively easy to turn around, I think. Evening Kiwi. Question: when you play the game, it crashes every 30 minutes. Does mine does the same thing, and why does it do it? Are you running mods?
Charge button on.
Because you may possibly have a mod conflict. In fact, if your game keeps crashing a lot, you probably are either putting too much on it, depending too much. Is your PC a good PC? Is it sort of a lower end PC? Are you trying to do too much and put too much strain on the system? My first thought would be that you're running mods that are conflicting with each other, and that's why you're getting crashes.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Confirm.
We've been dive bombed by
Continue like
Hadjar, but we do
Now
hold
next
him
car
back.
behind is Verstappen. And got to Verstappen behind 2.0.
And we need some lift and code for tyre temps.
He's going to have another look here
Go
into
back to doing
Tamburello,
lifting coast
and I
now.
think he might get us this time. He does.
Confirm.
Do you keep your mods organised as well, or do you just throw them in and kind of lose track of what they are and where they are? Because I keep mine organised in a folder system inside of the packs files. So if I need to take my mods out, I can just drag a folder out and all the mods that I'm running come out in one go. Because what I would suggest as well, if you are having a lot of crashes and you are running mods, is to take the mods out and then start putting them in one by one and then seeing what causes the problem. You might be running two separate livery updates for the same car. You might be running two different wheel updates or tyre updates for the same car. That was causing a lot of crashing for me on my 2013 test file, whereas I didn't realise, but I was running the Pirelli tyre pack, or the mod tyre pack, which gives you Pirelli, Bridgestone, Firestone, all that stuff. And I was running the 26 tyre mod, which is the tyres that we're using in this, at the same time, and that was causing my game to crash a lot. And as soon as I realised that, I took the other tyre mods out and just left in the 26 mod, and that was fine. Also, with some mods, they come packaged with options where you need to delete some files because it gives you like choices in a pack. So you might get a Ferrari mod, but it gives you two separate liveries within that mod, and you need to choose which one you want to run. So you need to delete the files for the other one, because otherwise, again, you're going to get a conflict. It's going to be trying to run two separate liveries at the same time, and that's going to cause you all sorts of issues. Right. I'm looking at our strategy here, and I'm seeing that we're going to have to cool the tyres to keep the one-stop alive, and I'm wondering if we should switch to a two-stop just to give us that extra tyre wear. Let me take a look at strategy and go to a soft. I'm going to switch Max to that. I might leave Norris out on the strategy he's on. But Max is stuck at the moment, so... and dropping back down the order again. So I think we're going to change Max's strategy.
Increase pace.
See if that works out for him.
So increase pushing
I
status.
just don't want the front runners to just run away from us again, like they did in the last few races.
He does have DRS on you.
Schumacher's looking very feisty, trying to get away, get around us there. Max has still got a bit of battery to use, so let's use it now.
Okay.
Get ourselves back onto Lindblad. Norris is dropping away from Yuki Tsunoda. And we're about 0.8 seconds slower than the Piastri at the moment. But we have just turned his tyres back up again. And now he's not in dirty air. His tyre temps are under control again. He's just done a personal best in the middle sector. Max has closed the gap to Lindblad a bit and put a little bit of fresh air between him and Schumacher.
Charge on. Okay.
Oh, yellow flag. There goes Lindblad into the gravel.
Avoid locking.
locking up at Piratella.
Yeah, confirm.
So here we are following the Alpine. Nothing at this point. And the car just locks. And hopefully there's not too much damage to the tyres.
Yeah, expect him to maybe change to a two-stop now. Unfortunately, that's left Norris. Norris is still under pressure from Hadjar, but it's left Max a little bit out of position. Was that a lock-up for George, maybe? No, Antonelli.
We're watching the Ferrari. Nothing wrong.
And this is into
so
the Variante Alta.
Struggling with the car. Now they did leave it very late.
Manages to save his position, though. He'll be under a little bit of pressure from Lawson with DRS. And you see Leclerc looking to make the move on Schumacher, but he's out of the slipstream. Schumacher had the DRS on us, so Leclerc is actually going to lose ground until he pulls back in again. Oscar is just running away with this at the moment. 118 last time round. 1.4 seconds quicker than Norris. A full second quicker than Max. I wonder if Oscar is two-stopping. Right, we've almost caught Hadjar.
High-speed management
See,
is very
Norris
good.
does 120.2. Yeah, he is still closing slowly on Sonoda. 120.4 for Hadjar. He's still just hanging on to the DRS. And 120.2 for Max. Still can't quite shake Schumacher off our tail. But that's maybe a good thing, because at least it stops Leclerc from trying to charge through. And Bearman is pretty quick as well. He's stuck behind Leclerc. We're going to fault for somebody. Oh, it's George.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of fault.
He's now 4 seconds behind Oscar. Yeah, Oscar is just running away with this, isn't he?
Mode push, please. Mode push.
Right, Hadjar is out of DRS range just to Norris. And we are now in his DRS. With a little bit of battery to spend on the start-finish straight and a tyre push, we might be able to get past him at the first time of asking here.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
Okay.
We just fell short.
Charge on.
Yeah.
But this will take some pressure off Norris now as well. The fact that Hadjar is out of range and having to defend from Max means that Norris might be able to pick his pace up slightly.
What about tyres?
Yeah, tires are okay for now.
doesn't have much battery, so we're just going to stay in harvest.
You are currently P7.
Very nearly
Behind you.
got him in the braking zone. So 120.1, Hadjar now 6/10 slower thanks to that pressure from Max on that lap.
It's nearly impossible to race like this.
Leclerc has got
Just
past
do your
Schumacher,
best.
so he is now tucked up behind us. There he is. Well, not quite tucked up behind us, but he will be very soon. Now we're going to push again. Now that we've got a 2-second gap
Okay.
between Norris and Hadjar. And also, I don't want Leclerc to start putting me under pressure either. Through we go with the DRS. We killed our battery to do it, but we are through.
You should be mode
And
charge.
that's Max back up to P6.
Yep.
And everyone's pace up front is starting to pick up a little bit, apart from Norris. Norris lost a second to almost everybody in front. Gasly and Tsunoda both about a second quicker than him. Russell slightly slower, but he's got that issue with his car, and Oscar a few tenths quicker. Tyres are still good at this pace, but we are going to cool them down just to try and get the performance back in them.
Tyres.
Yeah.
Track temperature 38.1 degrees,
Easy on the front
but
tire.
it's starting to dip slightly. We're just going to take a little bit of heat out of Norris's tyres. And save a little bit of wear if we can. We are going to try and do the one stop with Norris. Max's tyre temp starting to come down as well. And there we go, pace back to where it should be. Norris's target today was P4, I believe. Yeah, P4. Max needs to win. That's going to be a tall order. Leclerc is all over Hadjar, which will help us a little bit because Hadjar is in our DRS. So he can't concentrate squarely ahead of him. He's going to have to keep an eye on his rear view mirrors as well. Wing mirrors. He's going to have a look at Max though. Max held him off, that's good. We do not need to lose the place having just taken it back again. Max still running his day one engine as well. Norris is running a new engine. That might explain what the slight difference in Max's pace. And Norris is starting to close back in on Yuki again. We are going to need to break away from Hadjar, and I'm going to try and do that on the next lap if we can. We don't have a lot of battery, unfortunately. So that might make things tricky, but we're going to whack his tyres all the way up. Probably push the fuel a little bit as well. And just see if we can break him from Tosa through to the end of the lap.
Charge on.
Okay.
Mode push.
Okay.
No more lift and coast.
Another 1/10 of a second out of Yuki for Norris. And there we go, we've broken Hadjar. He's now going to have to defend against Charles Leclerc, which should slow him down, assuming Leclerc doesn't breeze past him in a drive-by.
We need to
Kill
reduce
the battery again.
Usage. Charge on.
And we've opened up a 2-second gap, which is quite nice. There we go. Right.
We need to do more
Take
lift
the
and
heat
coast.
out the
Please
tyres
increase
again.
by 10%.
Leclerc gets alongside. They're going to fight side by side for a few corners. Hopefully that carries on for a bit and they really lose some time this lap. While we're just taking that temperature back out of Max's tyres again. Stay side by side through Tosa. Gap now 2.5 seconds.
Okay, to push harder through 6.
And Hadjar stays ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc is probably quicker. Right, Norris is almost in range. Let's use the battery that we've been rebuilding
More energy available.
bit by bit.
Confirm.
He should get his DRS now. Oh, Leclerc's going to fault.
No, what's happening with the engine, guys?
I can tell you, it's quite a big vibration. It's a Honda. What do you expect?
Charge button on.
Cool.
We've got a 3-second gap back to Hadjar with Max now. That's good. And a yellow flag and a VSC. Oh, that is good for Max. It's very good for Max. And it's good for Norris as well. So let's see what happens with strategy. Do any of these guys box and switch to a 2-stop, or just accelerate their 2-stop if that's what they were on? We are going to a set of soft tyres now. A little ahead of schedule.
Charge on.
Okay.
Get a cheaper pit stop.
Now is that the Williams?
Franco Colapinto. He's been very anonymous this weekend.
Here we are down at turn 7.
Makes his presence known with a lockup and a crash
The car
at
makes
Tosa.
contact. I imagine their confidence will have taken a knock.
And he is out. Does he have anything to say for himself? No. Williams like, oh yeah, now I remember why we let Colapinto go.
A crash in the main straight, on the left, crash in the main straight.
Is everyone alright?
Yes. he
So
seems
none
to
of the
be
leaders
fine.
are boxed. Looks like they're sticking
Watch
to a
for them in
one-stop
front.
then. Max is going to come out in traffic.
I'm in.
But we will save some time. And hopefully we'll be able to cut through that traffic quickly as well with soft tyres. So 1.98 stop, that's not bad. Antonelli's in, so Antonelli moving to a 2-stop perhaps, unless he's thinking about a 1-stop this early. It's a bit early for a 1-stop. We'd have to be really careful with those tyres. So we could see Antonelli try and go for the 1-stop and puncture.
Energies are good.
We are at the back of the grid. But only by a couple of seconds, that's not too bad. Track temperature 36.2 degrees.
We need to do the full management on this set.
Okay.
When do we go back to green flag running? It's got to be soon. Piastri approaching Tulsa now. Tosa. Every time I say Tulsa and someone crashes, I immediately think of the song Only 24 Hours from Tulsa, but with slightly revised lyrics. There we go. We're going back to green flag running.
VSC ending.
Yeah.
And we need to increase pushing status. And DRS enable.
Only 24 meters from Tosa. Maybe I'd better
We
start
don't think we
braking
need
soon.
any lift and coast.
Yeah.
Use the energy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And because it was a VSC, DRS is still active. There it goes.
Confirm.
Can we get alongside into Villeneuve? Nope. Can we dive up the inside at
I'll push
Tosa?
it as much as I can.
No.
Race
Damn
is
it.
long.
Need to get that move done quickly. Max almost on the back of Lindblad. Getting that battery topped up as well. There we go.
Charge on.
And he is on Lindblad now.
Charge button on.
Confirm. Yeah, confirm.
DRS.
Confirm.
Mode push.
Yeah, okay.
It's like Yuki has dumped his battery. Bearman's into the pits.
Yeah, confirm.
There we go. This time we get through.
Confirm.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Okay.
Evening, Frank. Maybe push the softs to the max. No, they'll melt so quickly if I do that. All right, let's see what these guys are going on to. Hard tyres and hard tyres and hard tyres. I need to try and minimize how much tyre I use getting through some of this traffic until they start boxing. Then I can start to push a little bit harder with the softs. Otherwise, I'm going to give up all of my good pace just trying to get into some clean air. And then not have enough pace to stay ahead of the soft tyres that are boxed when I come in for my next set.
Cool the car as much as you can.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to be getting a lot of heat in the tyres with dirty air, so they're already up to 93 degrees.
You were the fastest car on track last lap. Cool the car.
P13. Too far back for a lunge there. Let's just harvest.
Charge on.
So Norris is already clear of Tsunoda. Starting to hunt down Gasly. Right, so I want to try and get past Bortoletto into the braking zone at Ravazza here. Beautiful. I've already got the DRS. Now I get a nice clean run
Charge on.
out of the final corner.
Okay, remember mode push.
And Max is now in some clean air to unleash some good pace. Nine-tenths of a second quicker than the leaders in that first sector. Mainly thanks to fresh tyres and DRS, but no battery. Middle sector, 26.7. Again, 7/10 up on Oscar. Russell's still with that minor issue that we don't know what it is. Antonelli has a really good middle sector as well. Personal best for him. And Porsche. And across the line, a 26.9. We did a 1:18.0. That is, what, a second and a half faster that lap than we did the lap before? We're on mini already, look. We're already 4 seconds clear of Bortoletto.
Charge on.
Now the cars will probably start boxing around the late lap 20s, early lap 30s, if they're one stopping.
Why is my pack empty?
I will come back here. We've seen on data on our side we can continue.
Caused by overheating curbs and condition. So
We believe it will be soon.
Yeah, confirm.
And we need to increase lift off.
all right, Hadjar and Leclerc into the pits.
You can push.
Hard tyres for both. Mini has a little look, can't get the move done. We go around the outside of him. Not too bad, that.
Not too bad, huh?
So we'll carry on harvesting, and then we will do the same thing we did to Bortoletto, and that's try and jump him on the run down to Rivazza.
Unbelievable.
Do your best.
Oscar's in. That'll be for hard tyres.
And Gasly is stopping now.
And Gasly in as well.
Go mode push.
We go around the outside. Sonoda's in as well. Now we'll turn the tyres up.
If you are able
We're
to
going to come
increase
up
pace,
just behind Oscar. There is Oscar. It's going to be really hard to win this Grand Prix for Max, but I mean, he's going to hopefully do better than he would have done.
very happy with tyre management. Charge on.
And he's going to be very quick on that next set of tyres as well.
Charge on. Charge on.
Attempts almost back in the control. There goes Schumacher and Drugovic. So no DRS for Oscar. That rear wing, we really need it. It's still a little way away yet, unfortunately. But that will help reduce the drag on the car a bit as well. Give us a bit more downforce as well. Even though we started with a much better car, we are still being outdeveloped because our expertise is a lot lower than that of our rivals.
And we need to increase.
And we certainly don't have much in the way of a strong wind tunnel or CFD sim, because they are very expensive for very little improvement. So we've not been focusing on those areas at all, just keeping them ticking over. Norris goes through, he's into the leads. There we go, engine temps back under control. We should hopefully clear this fault soon. It's now just caused by condition. We don't have the pace to keep up with Oscar at the moment, because Oscar pushed on those fresh tyres. Due to stop around lap 40-ish. Trying to get Norris's tyres back in the window. And they're dipping because we're having to drive in clean air, avoid curves to keep the car likely to clear that battery issue that he's having. We are slowly losing a little bit of battery every lap, because our harvest efficiency isn't what it needs to be. New fastest lap for Gasly. And now Felipe Drugovich in 12th, just outside the points. Mick still in the points in 11th place. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to Antonelli. Is he going to have to stop again? Well, he's going to have to stop again, but is he going to make it a normal two-stop strategy? Or is he going to try and stretch them, risk a puncture, stay out way too long on those hards, and then ruin his pace before boxing for a brand new set of soft tyres? As we do see quite frequently. See here, look, we're stopped. Even though we should still be harvesting, we're not, because of our fault on the ERS. We've only got 1.7 and we deployed more than that, so down to just 18% battery.
Charge on.
Yeah, confirm.
Oh, come on, clear. It's supposed to be a temporary fault. Fastest laps are tumbling for everybody. Look, Gabriele Mini setting the fastest lap. Now Lindblad, a 1:17.5. It's not going to be long until we start to see Oscar.
And you are doing a good job on tires. Keep it like this.
Yeah, confirm.
This is the downside to running a damaged part, is that you do risk faults developing. I don't know why it's not clearing. It should have cleared by now. There we go. Now it's cleared.
Understood.
Yeah, confirm.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Confirm.
Charge on.
Confirm.
George slowly creeping up to Max, but that's okay. We're kind of keeping pace with Oscar at the moment.
Doing a good job with the tires. Confirm.
Gonna box at the end of this lap, I think.
And box now.
Gone through our pit window now.
Confirm.
But it will give me more flexibility with those hard tyres. I can probably push them. Hopefully we can just stay ahead of Oscar so he doesn't get DRS off us. Doing with the new fastest lap, a 117.2. And Oscar will not get our DRS, that's good. Or even a slipstream either. We will box just before he can really utilise that. Here we go. So 4 seconds is the gap between Max and Oscar. Oscar now into the lead with a 117.9. Half a second quicker than Max. A 2 second stop for Norris. It's not quick enough.
Watch for traffic.
Where are we going to end up? Behind Sonoda, maybe ahead of Bearman. It'll be tight. It'll be very tight with Bearman. And Hadjar. There they come. They're going to get us. Ah, damn it. Down to 9th. But we're ahead of Charles Leclerc, so we haven't lost a place to Charles Leclerc. He's still got Schumacher with him. Those two have been glued together pretty much the entire Grand Prix so far.
Gap to him 1.8. And charge button on, please.
Confirm.
So deployed.
So we can just tag the back of Norris. Sorry, the back of Hadjar before the end of the lap. So we get some DRS to help with Leclerc while our tyres come up to temp. And yes, we can. Lovely stuff.
Charge button on.
Yep, confirm.
Charge button on. Charge
Not
button
close
on.
enough to really have a look.
Yeah, confirm.
Not with our tyres as they are, but we can certainly... Oh, actually, we might get him. If we get a good run. But we can certainly make sure that we get some more battery in the car.
1.0 now.
Ready for the next lap.
All right, let's concentrate.
Energies are good.
Yeah, confirm.
Spend a little bit of his battery.
Push.
Yeah.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Okay.
Gotta watch the engine temp, so we're just going to invite that ERS issue to come back
Tires are
again.
Good.
Yeah, confirm.
And you can use all the boost bar.
Confirm.
Not quite close enough there, but Hadjar might not have got the DRS off of Bearman.
I can't do it.
Continue.
No, he
Keep
didn't.
going.
So we've got a chance to get him here.
Yeah, confirm. Confirm.
just blocks us.
Okay. Yeah, confirm. Confirm.
And we need lift and coast.
Confirm.
Charge on.
Okay.
And more energy available.
Yeah, go. Confirm. Confirm.
I nearly made the move. Just a little
Nice.
too far back.
Continue like this.
Yeah, confirm.
Grab another little bite of the slipstream.
Yeah.
This time we can get up the inside before the kink. And we are through. So, let's cool the engine down, calm the tyres down again.
Lift and coast.
Battery
Okay,
back
cool.
into top up.
Take care of the tires.
Yeah, confirm.
Yeah, getting alongside through that little kink there was critical to being able to stop Hadjar from just drifting over like he did the lap before and killing our momentum. And we should hopefully start to pull away from him now. So, Max doesn't have great battery at the moment because we just splurged a load of it, but I wanted to make sure that we didn't help George out too
Gap
much.
to him 1.7. Race is long.
We're only 5 seconds behind Oscar. It's not too bad. We're going to lose about 20-ish seconds around here, maybe 22, 24. Going through that pit lane because it's a long, slow pit lane and a very fast bypass down the main straight.
Okay.
But we're going to come out, I would say, no lower than behind Drugovic. What's the gap? Let's have a look. So, yeah, we should come out just ahead of Lawson, I think.
Still margin to push a bit harder through turn 6 and turn 12.
Someone else with the fault now, and that's Teo.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
One of the Minardis tries to get past him. That is Gabriele Mini. He's sandwiched between the two Mercedes right now. Norris has pulled away from Hadjar, starting to hunt down Ollie Bearman, hopefully. And we're actually slower than by half a second on that last lap. But we're in some clean air. The engine temp's coming back down again. That's good. Got to keep an eye on that. Tyres are still plenty of life left in them. Antonelli's still chugging along nicely in P5 ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. But he's been on those hard tyres since Max boxed. That's a good number of laps. You can see he's been on them for 19 laps compared to just 11 and 9 for the front runners. And with the temperatures as they are around here, that is quite a lot. Track temperature is going to start climbing again in a moment. It's at 34 degrees at the moment. Right, let's see. Bearman across the line, 1:17.7. Norris does a 1:18.0. Still lost a little bit of time, but engine's back under control again. Could push the tyres a bit more. But we'll save that for now. Drugovic makes the move on Mick Schumacher. As Leclerc has pushed away and got himself right onto the back of Isaac Hadjar. Lap 39, we are way past the halfway point now. Oscar leads by about 7 seconds from Max. And George has caught me. We're going to box at the end of the next lap.
Mode push, please. Mode push.
Okay.
Okay, remember mode push.
Okay.
Charge on.
Yep.
Hey, George on a tear. He's set the fastest lap, and he's breezing past us. So we've got no hope of holding him behind here. There he
Avoid
goes.
letting anyone through if possible, please. Okay, Kev, boxing this lap.
Okay.
Tsunoda gets past Antonelli.
Okay.
And Tsunoda set the fastest lap as well. People starting to push a little bit. And that time we took 9/10 of a second out of Ollie Bearman. So yeah, not too worried about pushing the tyres just yet. I don't think we're going to win today. We're going to have our work cut out just to get on the podium, I think, with Max. Qualifying out of position like that and then dropping down as well has certainly hurt him. I think we've got a good chance of P4 with Norris. Second stop. Oh, come on.
You're in clear air.
Right, we're going to come out behind Lando. Are we going to get ahead of Lawson? He's the target, is to get out in front of Lawson. There is Antonelli and Schumacher. Not Antonelli, yeah, Mick Schumacher. With no sign of Lawson, he is
P12.
comfortably behind us. That's good. Lando is on the back of Ollie Bearman.
Lawson behind you.
We are going to go straight on the attack now that we're in range.
1.0 now.
Yep.
Can we get him into
Use the energy.
Ravazza?
Confirm.
Charge on.
Yeah.
No, he's taking a defensive line, blocking any move.
Yeah, confirm. Yeah, good.
Can we get alongside at the kink? No, he moves across, chops us. He defends very hard there as well. Max is alongside Schumacher and gets him.
Slow down now.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It is very difficult.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Okay.
and increase lift and coast.
Yeah. Yeah, all good.
Will I be streaming tomorrow? Not planning to, no. I generally only stream on the weekends if I've had to miss a
Got to
weekday.
0.9.
Mode push
Yeah.
suggests that you can reduce the amount of lift and coast at turn 1. Leclerc 1.1. Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for. Charge on. Go back to doing lift and coast now.
Yeah, that's the nice we can do.
A long way to go.
ERS?
Yeah, confirm. You can save less.
Okay.
Norris breezes on through.
Increase lift and coast, please.
Max
Yeah,
gets through on sharp.
Charge button on.
Confirm.
So next up is Hajar.
Cool the car as much as you can.
Up the inside through Piratella. That was a lovely lunge there from Max. Let's see if we can keep pushing and claim the fastest lap. Purple in the middle sector. Norris on for a personal best. Norris goes purple.
We are the fastest car.
The 1:16.3. Max is about to beat that with a 1:15.1.
You were the fastest car on track last lap. You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody. No management required.
Yeah, I've often thought about streaming weekends as a regular thing, but I figure
Okay,
it's a lot of stuff to catch up on if you miss a stream or two, and the weekend gives people an opportunity to maybe catch up if they choose to. I don't know, maybe I will eventually move to a regular weekend stream, but
There's progress to be made.
it's also the fact that, you know, given that a large part of the streaming audience is going to be interested in Formula One, there's a good chance that if I'm streaming, they might be watching Grand Prix footage or highlights and not watching me, so it's another reason why I don't tend to stream at weekends. All right, Max now with a run on Ollie Bearman. Again, Bearman doing his thing of just taking that defensive line.
Charge on.
Sort of a
We need
cool
to do
down
more
charge
lift and
lap.
coast. Please increase by 10%.
Norris looking to close down Antonelli, but Antonelli put in a really quick lap on the last lap to try and go back after Tsunoda. Still got a long way to go until the checkered flag. Oscar's about to start lap 47. He is going to win this comfortably, I think. Russell's not going to challenge him. Not with that issue that he's got, whatever it is. That he still hasn't been able to clear.
From tyre point of view, we don't think lift and coast is necessary. Cool the car.
Again, Bearman just going, nope, I'm going to cover the line. And Max is through.
Charge on. We need to do the full management on this set.
Okay.
Right, next up, Norris, who is now closing back in on Kimi.
Tyre phase update when you can.
I mean, it's okay for now.
No lift
Let's
off.
burn off that
needed.
spare fuel while we're in
Yeah,
clean air. Less chance to cook the engine.
And we need to increase lift and coast by 30%.
$16 laps to go. Currently P6, P7. Oscar leads from George by about 8 seconds. Gasly 7 seconds behind George. Then it's Tsunoda, Antonelli, then Norris.
All right, let's concentrate.
Russell P7. Bearman 8th. 9th for Hadjar. 10th for Leclerc. 11th for Drugovic. 12th for Schumacher. Those two fighting over the final point. Then it's Albon from Lindblad. Porsche, Sainz, Mini, Doohan, Bortoletto, Fornaroli, and just the one retirement so far. Colapinto. Make that 2 retirements as Porsche has had a crash somewhere
Yellow.
Confirm.
and punctured. He's crashed at Tosa.
Look at the Mercedes. There, that's the moment of impact, and the car leaving a bit of paint.
I didn't want to pronounce that he crashed at Tosa until I knew whether he'd hit a car or not. So Porsche's race well and truly done. He's going to be lapped before he even makes it back to the pits. Norris closing in on Kimi.
Continue like this. And we need some lift off. Confirm.
Oh, we've got loads of tyre wear to play with, look.
So deployed.
Confirm. Confirm.
Antonelli, very canny there, blocking the line.
Yep, confirm.
We'll open up the DRS and get cleanly through before the kink. And that is another position gained for Lando Norris at the P5. Just 3 seconds, less than 3 seconds now behind behind Yuki Tsunoda.
You could save less.
$14 laps.
Very happy with your tyre use.
I'm not sure if Norris has got enough pace to get past Gasly or not.
Cool down the tires as much
I
as
think he
possible.
might do. The tyres are certainly
Go for
going to be fresher. When did Gasly switch tyres? He's been on them for 23 laps. We've been on ours for 16, so we've got 7 laps extra life in our tyres compared to Gasly. Oh, lock up for someone. That's at the hairpin. It's the chicane. Is that Sainz?
Watch for yellows.
Oh, a
Should
spin
be
for
able to take a
Porsche.
look here.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, all right so far. And the rear just
Oh,
lets
wow.
go.
Yeah, that's
And I
a
wonder,
really
could
weird
they have
place
done
to spin.
Anything about that?
It's just put on brand new softs and he's already
And you can
damaged
just
them with a
feel
spin.
the frust-
Dear, oh dear. Right, there is Yuki Tsunoda. Max now just 2.5 seconds behind Antonelli. You just saw Max coming through Tosa there.
Next car in front is Tsunoda.
Piastri's
to
gap
him,
now nearly
1.8.
10 seconds.
Continue, keep going. P5. Next car in front, Tsunoda. Gap to him 1.7. Gap to him 2.6.
We should be in a position to make a move on Tsunoda this time next lap. Max should be in a position to make a move on Antonelli at the same point as well.
Next car in front is Tsunoda. Gap to Tsunoda in front, 1.3. Race is long.
No more lift and coast.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, confirm.
And more energy available.
Confirm.
No push.
Okay.
Yeah, confirm. Confirm.
Temperatures are going slightly up.
Confirm. Yeah, confirm.
Ah, damn it, Yuki.
Okay.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Confirm.
Max is through.
Yeah, confirm.
And some lift off if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can get Gasly with Norris, which means we should hopefully be able to get him with Max as well. Get Max into P3, Norris into P4. We're going to miss out on Max's money, but we can get him onto the podium.
Next car in front will be Tsunoda.
Let's have another try. at getting past
And you can use all the boost
Sonoda
bar.
here.
Yeah, confirm. Yeah, confirm.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
There we go, much cleaner.
Cool.
Managed the overtake better. We didn't lose momentum zigzagging from side to side. We kept it clean, kept the pressure on, and got a nice smooth run into Tamburello. Sometimes being a little bit further back helps, because you get to keep that speed consistent rather than having to lift when a move gets blocked.
Mega.
So Yuki is now relegated to P5. Norris is unleashed to go after Gasly.
Go back to doing lifting coast now.
Max did a 1:15.7 with some, well, what was left of his battery to try and close the gap down as well. Antonelli is risking a puncture. He did a 1:19.9. He's staying out too long. He's going to puncture if he doesn't box. It looks like he is going for that one stop, which is, yeah, like I said, foolish. One, his pace is not good enough at this point because his tyres are so worn out. Two, like I said, he's going to puncture, and that's going to kill his any chance of points.
And just a reminder on DRS.
Might be that Norris is just going to be quicker than Max, and it's Norris who finishes on the podium, and Max having to go for P4.
And we need to increase lift and coast.
Track temperature might spike a little bit over the neck. Oh, it's actually dipping. I thought it was about to spike, given that we've got, you know, clear skies for the next few minutes.
Next car is Sonoda. Sonoda, 1.9 seconds. Just do your best.
Gasly's pushing. Look, he had a really good first sector, but we clawed it all back and then some in the middle. We've taken 0.8 of a second out of Yuki Tsunoda on this lap.
Charge on.
Okay.
Shit, Max is still in clean air. Yeah, turn that off. We're going to turn his tyres up soon as well. We've got a nice little bit of buffer built in to be able to push them at normal pace for the rest of the race now. So we can afford them to get a little bit hot and still keep that pace up. Norris took 0.4 out of Gasly. Gap's now 2 seconds.
Long way to go in this race.
We've got 6.5 laps to go, including the one we're on. No, 7.5 laps to go, I think.
So let's go mode push.
Yeah.
Let's grab that DRS so we can set Tsunoda up for a run. And Norris is within a second of Gasly. Gasly's lost some tyre pace.
Do your best.
Again, Tsunoda, see, just hanging in the middle of the track slightly for a moment then before committing. Yellow flag ahead.
Single yellow.
Somewhere, a lock-up for tail. Oh my God, he's having a disaster of a Grand Prix, isn't he?
Mercedes.
Those tyres are taking so much punishment.
Oh, and the car locks up. By that
Huge
point,
lock-up.
it was just too late.
Lawson's into the pits for another stop.
A long way to go. Charge on.
Yeah.
This has got to be for
Okay,
softs.
remember mode push.
Yeah.
It is. Right. Chance for Lando here.
Use the energy.
Yeah, fine. Confirm.
We don't think we need any
Puncture for
liquid close.
Bearman. A puncture for Bearman. Yeah, hit that curve, and that killed his tire. Antonelli is on a tightrope now.
6 laps to go.
There we go. Onto the podium for Lando Norris.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
Max still not able to get through.
Okay, confirm.
Increase lift and coast.
We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Yeah, Antonelli, a 1:19.7 again on that lap. He is just going for broke. I really hope for his sake it doesn't all end in a disaster. But I think it might.
Sonoda's the next guy. Sonoda, 0.3. Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for.
Right, we have to get through here. Someone else
Get
just
after these
boxed.
cars in front.
I think that's Lindblad.
Suggests that you can reduce the amount of lift and coast at turn 1.
And we get the move done up the inside. And we put manners on him. I think we shoved him into the gravel slightly there as well. Oh no, it's Bearman into the pits after his puncture. That's who's in the pits. Yeah, let's see. Did we push him off the track? No, we don't see it from this angle. Given how quickly we hit that curve there, I do think we might have pushed him slightly off the track.
That was good racing.
Max enjoys himself the most when he's pushing people into
What
gravel.
about tyres?
My left front is giving up a little bit.
All right, 4 seconds to Gasly. Norris might still yet have a chance to catch Russell if he's really lucky.
An increase pushing
Let's
status.
see if we can break
Ignore.
away from Gasly. We don't want to drag him along.
Use DRS.
We want to leave him stranded to make it easier for Max to pick him off. Plus, it helps us close that gap to Russell a little bit. There we go. Gap achieved.
Charge button on.
Five seconds to George. We
And
took
4
1.5
laps to go.
seconds out of him on that lap. We've got 4 laps to go. It might be a little bit too much. But we are going to get Gasly. Poor Ches Day just gets even worse.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
That's him pulling over to get lapped by one of the McLarens, I think. Yeah, that was George getting through. This will be Piastri's third win of the season. Yeah, this will bring him closer to Max again. 17 points for a win, a point for pole position, a point for the fastest lap. Oscar got the pole, I think, didn't he? We're just 3.5 seconds behind George. We might yet get second with Norris. We might be able to keep the streak of 2 cars on the podium. Well, no, we can't. We're not going to catch Russell with Verstappen.
Car in front, Gasly. Just focus, there's a long race.
There's Teo getting out of the way as he gets lapped
3 laps to go.
by Max. Antonelli's punctured. Ah, I knew it was going to happen. Yeah. Slamming the inside curb there. He's not too far from the pits, so we'll be able to make a quick stop, but it's going to drop him out of the points. It's going to drop him down by Lawson, if not further behind. Oh. I hate to see the AI making silly calls like this. Especially because you watch, he's going to have a brand new set of softs to go on the car. Look at that. Smooth as a baby's bottom, those tyres. Brand new set of softs. He's going to be very quick, and he's probably going to steal the fastest lap from Max. So we're going to lose the bonus point again, just like we did last night with Doohan.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Looks like we've lost some pace,
Yeah, okay.
maybe because the tyres are too hot. Russell started to increase his pace as well. He did a 1:17.2.
Yeah, all good.
Max is almost there.
Charge on.
Yeah, okay.
I think Norris is going to have to settle for third. I don't think he's going to be able to make up those 3 seconds now. There's no traffic to help out. There's Bearman behind us, trying to unlap himself.
There's progress to be made.
So deployed.
Confirm.
See if we can get Gasly. You can save less.
Final lap.
And last lap.
Cool.
Okay.
Charge on.
Norris has got that gap down, but we've had to burn all of his battery early just to get him close. That's it, no more battery for Lando. He is going to have to settle for third. It's going to be a dominant win yet again for Oscar.
All right, let's concentrate.
So we're going to miss out on our never finishing off the podium this season. Make sure Max doesn't run out of fuel. Jesus.
Go back to doing lifting
Glad I
curves now.
spotted that. Oscar wins.
And the winner today, it's Oscar Piastri.
Antonelli was stuck behind him, couldn't unlap himself, so he wasn't able to take
And
the
it's
fastest lap
thoroughly
away from us.
deserved. A hugely talented driver and undoubtedly a worthy winner.
It'll be third place
And
for
check
Lando,
the
behind George Russell, the gap at 2.3 seconds in the end. Max finishes in fourth.
Good job, everyone. Love you all.
I think that's the best we could have achieved with Max really today,
Really well.
after qualifying so badly.
That's the checkered flag.
Maybe we could have had third if we'd kept him out on the one stop, but it was worth the gamble,
You did a fantastic job.
I think.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. Really well deserved.
Mode slow, please.
Albon gets the final point ahead of Arvid Lindblad. Helped mainly because of the penalty, or sorry, the punctures for Bearman and Antonelli there. But a good day for Honda. Both cars finishing in the points. Leclerc still not doing great. He got up to the back of Hadjar, but again, bad qualifying hurt him.
Lando Norris, currently on our screens, heads back to his team.
And third place sees them round off today with a trophy to mark the occasion.
Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
A fifth podium of the season for them with a beautiful trophy too.
Yeah, it's a really unique trophy that doesn't look anything like any of the other trophies we see at
Italy,
every single circuit.
And it looks like those three feel right at home too. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
Speaking of trophies, you've got to feel sorry for Nico Hulkenberg.
And that's about
His
it
first
for
ever
our time
trophy
here
on the
in Imola.
podium, and it was
Coming
made of
up
Lego.
in the next round is the Sao Paulo Grand Prix as we head to Brazil. Join us next time at Interlagos.
I think they were literally just for the presentation, and they all got proper trophies as well. But yeah, come on, he could have made that himself. Right, confirmation of the final results. It is a win for Oscar and second place for George. So those two both now get the chance to close the gap in the Drivers' Championship. Lando gets third place. Norris fourth. Norris ahead of a teammate Verstappen, who finished fourth, but did keep hold of the bonus point for the fastest lap. Then it's Gasly from Tsunoda, Hadjar, Leclerc, Drugovich, Schumacher, and Alex Albon up 8 places to get that final point. Then we had Arvid Lindblad from Sainz, Mini, Doohan, Bortoletto, Fornaroli. A late puncture killed Antonelli's hopes. He finished down in 18th. Lawson 19th. Bearman suffering a similar fate, finishing down in 20th. And Porsche had all sorts of problems. 2 laps down in the end. Colapinto, the only retirement. At least I think he covered himself in a little bit more glory than Teo did. So, into the drivers' standings. Max still leads the championship with 85 points now. 15 ahead of Norris, who closes the gap by 1. Oscar up to 66 means he's now just 4 points behind Norris. And Russell's points get him above Arvid Lindblad. He is now in P4 on 41 points. No points for Lindblad means he stays on 34. Gasly closes the gap a bit. He's on 28. Hadjar up 2 places to 7th with 18 points. And Leclerc getting some points as well. He stays in 8th, but gets 17 points. Antonelli down 2 places, jumped by both Hadjar and Leclerc. No points for him, stays on 15. Albon's point moves him above Bearman by 1 point. He's on 13 against 12 for Ollie. Bortoletto has 11. Lawson with 10. Then we have a couple of drivers on 9 points apiece. Porsche and Tsunoda. Tsunoda up 4 places into 15th with 6 points today. Then it's Mini and Doohan both on 5 points. 4 points for Sainz. 3 points for Drugovich as he gets his first score of the season. 3 points also for Colapinto, and 2 more points for Schumacher means he is up to 3 as well. Just one driver yet to score, that is Leonardo Fornaroli. Ugo was in action this weekend. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. A sprint win and a race win. Good stuff. Into the constructors' standings. 19 points for Cadillac puts us on to 155. Ford outscore us by 6. The gap closing down slightly. They're on 94 points. They are 61 points behind now. McLaren move above HiTech into 3rd. 18 points for them this weekend, thanks to both cars finishing in the points. HiTech in 4th place on 46 points. Honda up to 26 with 10 points this weekend. Ferrari and Williams also climbing up the standings, 18 and 16 respectively for them. Audi on 16, dropping down 2 places into 8th. Then it's TGR, level with Mercedes, but moving ahead. They're on 13 points in 9th, Mercedes in 10th, and Minardi bottom with 5 points. Right, pit stops. Ah, wow. Both of our drivers made it on there. Not a huge number of really quick stops today. Gasly and Piastri both getting decent stops, both in the top 5. Both Mercedes in the top 4, so good scores for them. Ferrari getting 2 cars in the top 10 as well. And then the only other points taken by Williams in 6th and HiTech in 9th. So a couple of teams winning big points today. Let's see what it's done to the standings. Mercedes are top with 100 points. They scored 30 this weekend. Second is Ferrari with 71. 35 points for Ford. Sees them jump 5 places up into third on 69 points. TGR stay on 54. Williams up to 53. We're up to 49 points now in 6th place. 7th place and down 2 places. McLaren with 43. No points for them this weekend. Or Audi or Honda. They stay on 39 and 14. HiTech now within 2 points of Honda. And Minardi still just that single solitary point. And there's a summary of our stops. I didn't think that time would get us on the leaderboard at all. And I didn't have much hope for Max getting on the board either, especially with a high 1.9. But there we go. Both cars getting us a few points. And no bonus for Max. I think we're going to have to start looking at his second bonus now rather than the top bonus, because our car just isn't quite there at the moment. Oscar is in very fine form, and that Ford is developing very strongly. So, yeah, I think we'll have to be a bit more safe with Max now. Good money from Norris, though. We did get him up into the podium and beat his target of 4th or higher. So let's head back to HQ and see how long we've got until our next round of upgrades. Okay, our tour centre is back to full form again. Refurbed back to full level 5. Giovinazzi has dipped a point. No real surprise there. Ian Gregg goes up a point. Alright, can we please get a point out of Neil Holdy? Doesn't look like it. Not Neil Holdy. I forgot his name. Our sporting director. We've got a spare front wing. Will Courtney, there he is. He's still at 94. Look, I bet his aptitude is still at... Oh, no, his aptitude's gone up to 95. Woo! He's finally gained a point in aptitude. Oh, that means our pit crew can now get up to a maximum of 95. That's good. Right, let's see what the board thought of just the one podium this weekend. They were happy. Yeah. We replaced a delighted result with a happy result, and that has affected the board by dropping them to happy. Plus, the board room does need a refurb, which we might go ahead and do now. Let's check in with that board room, actually. It is 320k. Yeah, we can afford that. Let's do that. What needs to be fixed? Let's go into the inbox first of all. Check the post-race data email. A chassis, a side pod, and a suspension, all failing, all on Max's car as well. We are being recommended an F2 driver talents. Joaquin Otales. He's a new gen. He's currently in 5th. Why would we need to hire an F2 talent when we have an amazing F2 talent who is currently sweeping at the competition? So there's Giovinazzi. Oh, he has dipped a bit, hasn't he? He's lost a point there. A point there. So 2 points lost overall. on his ratings and down 1 overall to a 76. But he's just in there for development, so that's fine. There we go. Ooh, look at this. We're getting a big boost thanks to sponsors. So we're actually getting 145 grand a week. For reference, this normally pays out 96,000 and change. So we are getting a almost 50 grand extra a week, thanks to the sponsor selection that we made. Meaning that facility is getting a boost. That is lovely. Lovely bit of extra cash. Right, let's fix the car if we can. We've got a spare chassis, or we did. We don't anymore. Same for the side pods and same for the suspension. We are going to have to look at fixing those, maybe. Let's see how long till we get replacements. 10 days plus build time, so 18 days, maybe 17 for another side pod. We haven't got suspensions in here at all. Let's go ahead and make another round of Mark III parts to complete a Mark III spec car before we start researching. So tyre wear is strong. Let's just give it a bit more of a bump as well, just to really rub it in against our rivals. Gain another 5% or so. There we go, and take a little bit of life out of that as well. There we go, that'll do nicely. Haven't quite got enough to do a wing, a new front wing. We'll have to wait a little bit longer on that. What's being built? We have got another suspension coming. What's the state here? Medium risk. We can't wait that long. And then the wings are at risk on that car. Yeah, I'm not worried about the wings. Side pods, underfloor is fine. We've got a spare. Side pods and suspension, we are probably going to have to make one more of each, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, we've got a suspension coming, so just a side pod then. There we go. Evening, Nigel. Yeah, Piastri won, unfortunately. So we didn't qualify well. We had a bad first run when the track was at its best in Q3. So we qualified sort of at the lower end of the top 10. We got a podium with Norris, 4th with Max. So things tightening up a little bit in the standings. The car not as superior against the rest of the grid as it was earlier, because despite starting very, very strong, our expertise levels are still lower than that of the AI teams, so they are out-developing us at the moment. Hence, a lot of parts being put through. They should be worth nice little gains when they come, but we've got to get them on the car first. We are 11 days away from Sao Paulo. Let's check our calendar, see if there's anything important coming up. Yes, a new ATR. And then we've got a couple of designs dropping here right before we go to Sao Paulo. We won't have enough money to get any of those started, unfortunately. We're going to have to wait till we come... Oh, no, wait, that's the start of a new month. We might be able to get one of them going. Maybe both. Depends how much money we actually get. Our next sponsor payout isn't until May, and that's a week after Brazil. Or a week before, a week after we go to Brazil. So, no, wait, it's there. That is a refurb. That's our boardroom refurb. There. So that is, yeah, a full week and a bit after Brazil. Before we get to Mexico and Spain. So we can get a couple of parts done there. That is the underfloor. That is the rear wing. The rear wing we can focus on. The underfloor we can try and get one started. Again, depends how much money we're getting. We'll have a few weeks of 145k a week from our tour center. At the very least, 2 weeks of that will pay for one rear wing. So we can get 3 or 4 weeks out of that. That will pay for the rear wings, and then we can just try and scrape together enough to get all the other parts started. even if we can only get one of them going. It's better to get them started with just one rather than just waiting through a weekend until you can actually, get two going, fund-wise. Because at least then you don't have that long wait for both cars. You only have to wait a little bit longer for one of them. Right, let's advance a bit of time, shall we? Is Brazil a sprint weekend this year? I think it might be. Ocon goes down to an 83 overall. Is this a sprint weekend? It is. It'll be a sprint weekend on Monday when we come back to Brazil. So let's see what Ocon's lost. A point there, a point there, a point there, a point there as well. So he's lost 4 points out of his ratings. But again, we've got him for commercial work more than anything else, so not overly concerned by that. Zhou goes down by a point as well. Oosh, God, they're all falling. I just realised our race sim needs a refurb, doesn't it? Yeah, and that's very expensive refurb. That's just going to have to wait, unfortunately. Let's see what Zhou lost. He lost a point, and 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 a point. God, he lost 6 points. And Rio's losing as well. My God, everyone's just falling apart now. He lost a point, and a point. Just 2 for Rio. He's out of contract at the end of the year anyway. There we go. There's our spare suspension. And our spare side pod. New ATR. We've got 225k. It's not enough to do anything yet, except build a front wing. Stoffel goes down by a point. Yeesh, God, they're all falling like flies. Stoffel loses a point, and 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 a point. Yeah, a lot of points lost for Stoffel. He is in development, I believe. Car development. Yes, he is. So that's less than ideal. Alright, start of a new month. Our chassis design is ready. Our side pod design is ready. So we can start to build those. We've got 1.5 mil in the bank. So let's get those started. Chassis. Let's just get one going to start with because they're quite expensive at 550k. Side pods are what, 400k? 450. Okay, so that is most of our money gone already. We're down to 494k. That is enough to start an underfloor. When that pops, they are 400k, I believe, the underfloors. And then hopefully our tour center will give us enough to get the wings going as well. We can ignore this because not everyone's got their most up-to-date spec on yet. Monthly card reports. Yeah, we are getting slower and slower, aren't we, compared to the rest of the grid. Still mighty, though, in terms of tyre wear and dirty air, which is really helpful. Side pod and chassis, clear those emails. What's everyone else up to? Ford have got a new wind tunnel. And what about Ferrari? Yeah, they have been having a difficult season, haven't they? Where are they in the constructors now? 6th, 18 points. Yeah, they could have had a lot more points than that. They could have maybe been on par with Honda had they not played silly buggers with Antonelli's strategy. Let's take a look at the race preview. There we can see the current standings. Max top from Norris by 15 points. That is just under a race win. 17 points for a win, 13 for second, 10 for third. Then it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to 11th place. And a bonus point, of course, for qualifying and also for fastest lap as well. So a maximum of 19 points available for each driver every weekend. And we have a nice healthy lead still in the constructors standings, because we are still consistently getting both drivers right near the top end of the points. So while we may have lost our perfect run of getting both drivers in the top 3 at every event so far, sprints included, with Max's 4th today, we're still scoring really strong points. We're still consistently bringing home big points. So as long as we can keep that going until we get the next big round of upgrades on our car, which aren't too far away now, then we should be very comfortable still, I think. So that is it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's Grand Prix. If you have, then a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're not yet subscribed, why not consider hitting that subscribe button as well? Be sure to click the bell for notifications on live stream starts. We will be back on Monday for the next round, a sprint weekend in Sao Paulo. The usual time, 8 p.m, but that is not GMT, that is BST, British Summertime, because the clocks go forward in the UK here on Sunday morning. So a reminder for anyone who had forgotten, Vito. So you will lose an hour of sleep on Sunday, and if you were planning on getting up early to watch the Suzuka Grand Prix, then yeah, make sure you remember to change your clocks for that. Otherwise, you'll miss the first hour of the broadcast, or maybe the first hour of the race, depending on when you were planning on getting up. I will be back Monday, as I said, to discuss what went on in Suzuka and do our next round at round 6. Until then, though, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.